new leader of the so-called Scottish Conservative Party, pro-assisted suicide campaigner Jackson Carlaw, has jumped right in at the start of his leadership by insulting evangelical Christians and in fact every other religious group as well.
Now, I understand the SNP. I mean, it's not really a political party. It's an evangelical faith-based cult. It believes entirely in independence and almost nothing else.
So it's really going for the SNP. He said they're so bad, they're like a faith-based evangelical cult. So obviously being evangelical, that must be like the worst sort of faith-based cult. But evangelical a bad thing, type of cult? No, evangelicalism is an element of mainstream Christianity. Those of you who are not familiar with the sort of types of Christianity, evangelical Christians, roughly speaking, emphasis on the authority of the Bible, death and resurrection of Jesus central to the Christian message, an emphasis on personal conversion, and an emphasis on evangelism, preaching to the unconverted. But what does Jackson Carlaw mean by evangelical? I suspect he means something like closed-minded and irrational, unbalanced, wacky, extreme, fanatical, brainwashed, cult-like. Then it says faith-based, as though this is a bad thing as well. But all religions would say they're faith-based in a certain way. But being faith-based, faith is not in contrast with rationality. Faith is not the poor relative of knowledge when it's used in a religious context. Faith means trust. So, for example, we have trust in a surgeon when we submit to an operation. So faith is an expression of trust, not belief without adequate evidence. So it says the SNP are faith-based, but they are largely. They believe that independence will solve pretty well all ills or thereabouts for Scotland in the future. So yeah, for the Scottish Family Party, you could say we're faith-based as well. We've got faith in families to bring up their own kids and to build a healthy society. We've got faith in the institution of marriage to help promote stable family life, etc., etc., etc. What do the Conservatives have faith in? Well, the Union. What else? What else do they stand for? What are their principles? But it's actually wrong to say the SNP only believe in one thing, independence. The SNP believe in two things. They believe in independence and woke values. They're sort of extreme feminist, identity politicking, LGBT, politically correct, illiberal progressivism. Now, Jackson Carlaw can't see that because he believes in roughly the same thing. I often talk about the conservative delusion, and that's people who think, oh, I don't support all that crazy SNP stuff. I vote conservative instead. But they're just about the same, especially in Scotland. Now, just to give proof of this, I'm going to show you a clip of Jackson Carlaw's new deputy, Annie Wells. And in this clip, she's wondering how to best discriminate against men in job appointments and how to discriminate in favour of minority groups, like a good conservative.
There was already four males on it and 3 females, and we had 1 vacancy. There isn't any way that we can make sure that that board position is filled by a female, because at the end of the day, if the 2 candidates are the same, then merit is the underlying thing that's got to be the thing that appoints that person. And as long as the scrutiny's been there, a man can be appointed. So how do we achieve 50-50? Would we then be looking to make sure that the male appointments on boards included LGBT, BME, protected characteristics, social?
So according to Annie, every leadership team needs male and female, needs LGBT, etc., etc., got to tick all the boxes. Maybe that's why she's deputy leader herself. She's a lesbian, so maybe she got herself a job by taking that sort of line. But that's the Scottish Conservative Party for you. No one's ever said that they think the Scottish Family Party doesn't stand for anything. Pro-family, pro-marriage, pro-life, pro-real education, pro-freedom of speech. I could go on and on and on. If your values match ours, why not support us by joining the Scottish Family Party right now? There's a link below. Thanks for watching.